Blitzkrieg is there because he's definitely not in the game. But those definitely not blitz hooks are it's just terrifying, and Element lands so many with the combination of Nijaki landing, you know, those vision ults. They just gave Blitzcrank his own personal walking ward mechanism.
Yes, they do have an extremely tanky line too, because Jace's hammer, great at disengaging. You have the escape ability from Cop on Corki with that Valkyrie. Mundo is just a meat wall between your enemies and your carries, and Blitzcrank, while he can pull people in, he can also knock people up, silence them, so they have a lot of protection for that Protect the Cogmore and Corki. As where you look at Fortnite, they've got really only Olaf and I guess Rumble as their frontliners, and Olaf's more about being able to dive past an enemy team to get to a carry.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that, you know, if Curse can disengage and re-engage. If they dive in, you know, they can get knocked away. Mundo can just stand in front of them. Elements can knock someone up, and the moment that Fortnite turns around, Blitz can hook them back in. Jace can front flip forward. Corki can Valkyrie after. Kog'Maw can land a slow. So even if one team disengages, Curse can just engage, re-engage, disengage, re-engage. Whereas pretty much everything that Fortnite has is kind of in that one jump.
Yep. And also, as far as poke goes, certainly Curse have the advantage, if only for Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw's like the ultimate poke mechanism. So much further range than anyone else, and pretty safe at doing it. And we are into the 3-minute delay. Can we please take down the summoner blockers? I'm not sure if you've already done that.
I have.
You have. You anticipate everything that I want. This is why I love you, Leowen. And we will see, of course, as predicted, Mundo versus Olaf in the jungle. Olaf running Ghost, so woohoo. Up top, we will see Jace versus Rumble. I almost forgot the champion's name there. So that's going to be very interesting. Jace having that combination damage of being able to switch between ranged and melee, but Rumble just punishes anyone who gets close, and that's where Jace is probably at his killing best.
Something just fell on my desk. It's okay.
Yes, there was that awkward pause there. In the mid, we will see Dirty Diana up against the AP Cog. AP Cog running Teleport, so are they going to try and switch him top lane, or is he just trying something fancy?
How much you want to bet it's a hybrid Cog?
Oh, I would like that a little bit.
Because it'll get to a point, you know, he can build that AP, he can build, say, a Nashor's Tooth, he can build a Malady, he can get all that AP attack speed and magic, and, you know, he can just get to a point in which it'll just reach this spot where, hey, why not pick up a Madrid and shred them more?
That's actually quite a brilliant idea. Hopefully the game does not get that late, at least for Fortnite. They do not want it to stretch out that long. They really do not have the team to deal with it. And down bottom, we will see Ezreal and Sona versus Corki and Blitzcrank.
Them hooks.
Now, them hooks. Ezreal good at disengaging. Same with Sona once she hits 6. But Elements is like the master of hooks. And certainly Cop on Corki can just punish you with his armor shred. And let's not forget the junglers roaming in.
Yeah, I mean, Elements, he's got Blitzcrank. And Sona is the squishiest, just straight up squishiest supporting game. Lulu has a shield. Soraka has an armor buff. Taric is Taric. But just
Taric is Taric.
Taric is Taric. But if you grab a Sona and knock her up, she's going to die. It takes so much for Sona to get out of trouble.
Yes, and as someone literally just said in chat, and I agree wholeheartedly, Fortnite can win. They do just need to outlane Curse hard enough, and that's exactly what they need to do. They need to outlane them. They need to win their lanes early and proceed to move that on to game-winning objectives. If it's a prolonged laning phase, or if they have it hard early on, it's going to just get harder and harder as the game moves on, because as you said, Kog'Maw, even though he's AP, he's going to scale heaps more into the later game. Same thing with Corki. And I guess to a degree, Jace as well, but his strongest point probably is mid-game.
Alright, well, we are into game, and we did see in the skin to win, Curse rocking the 5 skins. We've got, what is that? Is that Caterpillar? That's like Caterpillar Kog'Maw? Yeah, not Monarch Kog'Maw. We've got Full Metal Jace, Rageborn Mundo. That's definitely not Blitzcrank and Earth Corki, because there's no better Corki other than Bobsleigh Corki. That is just such an awesome skin.
And it looks like both teams going over through that bottom river. Are they going to defend? It looks like that.
Oh my god, Element
not
just
going
hook
to
something,
defend.
do it. You know you want to. They're going to walk right
Curse
into
being
him. The
caught
damage
out.
coming out. Everything from Diana. Curse, Saint Vicious, very, very low. Element still in there, is going to fall. They do take down V-Man, so they get a little bit of revenge for that. But I would flash out of there as Jace does. Now Nijaki flashing forward is going to get caught. The Q from Jace does do a bit of damage, but down he goes, and now Livingston, one or two more basic attacks he might have fallen, so not... why didn't you hook Blitzcrank?
Obviously, the Spider Sense was not tingling, but 2 for 1 in favor of Fornot, and First Blood going down as well to Ezreal. So he's going to rock up to lane with at least a Doran's Blade, if not more. He's sitting there.
He's sitting there. He's
I've
waiting.
never had this much gold at the start of the game. He's not quite sure.
He had to wait. He had to wait the 4 or 5 seconds to get the extra gold.
But still, you might lose one farm, maybe one farm off that. You're coming back to lane with a major advantage.
Yeah, no, Cog was not the AD carry. Corki, he didn't get anything off that. He only got an assist, so an extra 70 gold. So, yeah, solid advantage towards Ezreal.
Yep, and we do have Mundo starting at his red, so he's going to be looking for a gank very early on, it seems. Meanwhile, Olaf doing, I guess, the safer thing and starting with blue, but Olaf is certainly able to gank early on without needing red. And he's rocking that awesome pentakill skin.
Yeah, I was about to mention.
You don't see in game too much. At least I haven't.
I'm really depressed that there's no pentakill AD carry, so that you can't really run the pentakill team. You can, but it's not like, you know, a perfect team comp.
I actually believe on Reddit there was a bit of an uproar about that, is that people wanted Draven as the AD carry for pentakill.
Yeah, why not Draven? Olaf has a legendary skin, and Draven would have fit the team. Would have fit the team, but it looks like a little bit of aggression onto Livingston in top lane. Saint Vicious landing some nice cleavers. He's just going to annoy him a bit, but I think Kog'Maw needs to be careful because that Olaf is roaming around.
Yep, but is Mundo going to run into him? No, he's not, but JD Wu is going to try and snake the blue. I have a feeling here.
Yeah, no, he knows Mundo's on his blue. Mundo's at about half health. He can kill him. He can kill him off this if he does it right. He is going to wait for him to take it and just straight kill him.
And that's exactly what you said. You have to be counter-aggressive onto Mundo. Don't let him wander into your jungle. Show up in his, and that is exactly true. And JD Wu is just showing us how it is done. 2 games in a row. Now he's looking for the gank here up top against Solse. But Solse doesn't see him, but he's still just that little bit cautious, as you would be if you lost someone at blue buff just a few seconds ago.
Yeah, I feel like he knew he was there, and he was just trying to make him waste some time.
Yep, and that's what you really need to do, is just have that presence of, okay, someone nearby died to a jungler. They may be coming for me next. So, paid off rather well there. And Olaf has gone back to buy with that gold from that first kill. Well, I guess second kill for him, because he did get one of the kills earlier on. Oddly enough, picking up a Philosopher's Stone, you don't see that too often on Olaf. Not a bad choice by any means, but usually you'll see people tend to rush out those more offensive or tanky items on Olaf rather than sustain.
He picked up a cloth armor. He finished the Philo Stone, picked up a cloth armor. So now he can finish boots if he wants to soon, or go into a Wriggles. And now he's got some extra gold gain that, you know, Mundo doesn't have yet. Mundo built a Doran shield.
And the problem is that that's not going to turn into anything later on, as where Olaf can turn that into a Shirelia's later on, and he can just zip straight around to the map.
Looks like he's
not to mention the cooldown reduction.
Gank here. I think they're trying to bait out the hook from Elements, try and get him to hook Ezreal as he hooks him now, and that is what they wanted. The Arcane Shift goes over. They do a lot of damage to him, but now Olaf is coming in from the side. Corki instantly Valkyrie's out, but I think JD Wu is going to just force out the flash. And yeah, they wanted him to land that hook. They wanted them to go far enough forward so that JD Wu could come in from behind.
Yep, and unfortunately they didn't get a kill there, but they forced the flash out of Cop, and that's what it's all about. It's about making him scared, and I think they did the same to Elements as well, so that's really... You have to be cautious down bottom lane now. Both of your characters do not have flash. And Saint Vicious just being thrown so far back in this. He's not, he's ahead of farm of Olaf, but 2 kills versus 0, and a gold gen item as well. Yeah. Saint Vicious seeming not to have the strongest early jungle in both of these matches, but he certainly can turn it around. He is that great a player. And up top we do see, I thought Salsa was going to go balls deep onto Rumble there, but he just hit him and ran. It got him around to about half health with just his combo.
Yeah, but he's going to try and bait this. Rumble should be hitting 6 very, very soon. The moment he does, he's going to try and bait Jace into this fight, because if they get this extra kill on Olaf, that is going to spiral this top lane, or even just Olaf. Just really far ahead, and Rumble, he's like 1 minion creep away. So I really just want to focus on this, because this is probably about to be a fight. Yep, in comes the extra gank from Mundo. Now Olaf coming in from behind. Jace is 6, but that 6 doesn't really do all that much. Rumble is now 6 as well, so that might just be a disengage.
It does look like it. I was sitting there, I was kind of creeping towards the other one, so it looked like something was going to happen, but both junglers were there, and when it's 2 versus 2, even in a gank, unless you have a clear advantage, you want to back off. You just don't want to risk losing too much. Down the bottom, we did see the grab onto Parole, but he did disengage with that. I can't remember what the name was. Arcane Shift, I believe
yes,
it is. It's so annoying when you grab an Ezreal and he does that, and especially as Blitzcrank, I guess, because you immediately want to follow up with the uppercut, but time is what it is, and to Ezreal, it's nothing.
Yeah, no, you have to, he has to not be spamming it for it to go off before his Arcane Shift will move him. He'll still get knocked up and stunned, but he'll just not be next to you anymore.
Yep, and it does look like second blue buff of the game being given out to V-Man while JD Wu heads back, obviously. Probably part of what he was thinking with getting that Philo was the fact he wants to feed it to Diana constantly. She's not a very blue-reliant champion, but she certainly can use it more than what Olaf can.
And Olaf sneaking in for another lane gank. If he goes for this, he'll walk right into a ward, so how fast can they engage? They don't have Sona ult yet. And actually, a Blitzcrank hook missing Sona by inches, and looks like Olaf has actually decided to back.
Yep, and Fornot clearly onto Elements game. They are just avoiding walls like the plague. And just taking it really slow, really cautiously. They know that they can outpoke them so long as they don't get grabbed, and that is what they're doing. They're just driving that home at the moment. And Livingston, I don't want to say he's doing really well up top. He is falling behind in creeps just a little bit. It's very, very close. But the problem inherently is that... Sorry, not problem, but the advantage inherently is he's a basically close combat caster. I do apologize for stumbling all over my words, but he's not being bullied by Jace, who's able to just long range poke with that Q. Oh, and Mundo does come in up the top. They do miss their skill shots. Equalizer does go down, but Curse Nijaki is right there, and down will go Livingston, I think. He's just so close. Solso nearly dying himself, but the Ignite just not dealing enough damage.
Yep, there's that teleport being made effective, but Diana is sneaking up. I think they saw her in one ward. If she goes quickly enough, they may be able to dive on the Kog'Maw.
They will. It's just as well that they took as long as they did, because both people backed, but they're not feeling confident going one-on-one on Cog.
Yeah, I don't know. Under a tower, that may not have been the best play, and JD Wu's at about half health, so might have felt it was just too aggressive for them to try and make that play.
Yeah, sometimes it's not the best decision. Sometimes the reward is not worth the risk. So
Yeah, that would have been
backing out
giving
there,
Kog'Maw off a blue buff. It would have given him a red buff. That would have been not happy for anyone.
Yeah, it could have went.
Oh, the hook
very
onto
wrong.
Sona, plus the knock up. A lot of damage from Corki, but Mundo is sneaking around the backside. They forced the disengage. Sona has missed the ultimate. No, she actually caught Corki. Ezreal ult now going through, but Mundo is here and disengaged.
And
I guess-
Saint with that really early
Cop was
oracles
way
again
too low.
Cop only survived that because he healed. He popped Summoner Heal as the Ezreal ult was coming in.
Oh my god, Olaf, no Saint Vicious is there. They're both going to land a little bit of damage. The Ghost actually coming out and the ultimate from JD Wu. So, went very, very aggressive there. Sona now pushing in onto this tower, doing some damage to Elements. They may be about to dive him if he sticks around. And I think Elements knows people are coming for him.
Yep, Elements realizes that and he just gets the hell out of dodge with that overdrive. Meanwhile, Cog's kind of getting a bit of free farm in mid. JD Wu has just shown up, and really, Olaf is not going to deter him too much from that. Diana now back in lane. Nijaki has got that blue buff too, so he's basically set to spam harass for the next minute or so. And Cop really struggling to just survive these engages, despite the fact that Elements is basically creating these engagements for him half the time.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really seem to have the damage for it yet. And, you know, Elements is landing some pretty nice hooks. But they're going, you know, they have that late game. They don't really have the ability to follow it up with damage right now.
Yep, and it looks like, there we go, the grab down onto Sona, but Elements is completely on his own. Here comes Ezreal, forces him away. Elements taking so much damage. The ultimate going out, does hit him, pops his shield, but he does live. But he's going to have to back or start chewing through potions, which he has none of. He has one of, which he is currently working through. But that was a lot of damage. See, Elements is... He played really well last game that we saw, but now he's kind of fallen into this pattern of he just wants to land a hook, despite the fact that he's not able to tank the damage.
Yeah, no, they need to... Ezreal's kind of hard for them to grab. They need to be grabbing Sona more. They need to be shutting her down so that they force Ezreal out of lane. They don't really need to kill Ez as much as stop him from farming as much as Corki. And it looks like JD Wu is sneaking down. No, he's actually killing a ward, placing one of his own. Gonna walk right into Cop, or Cop's gonna walk right into him. Cop does get slowed, instantly Valkyries away, because nobody wants to be caught by 6 Olaf axes, just one after the other.
And he is just ward sweeping these bushes, making them get really nervous about lane and want to waste those wards there. Oh, Elements flinging out a fist. I don't see how that in any way, shape or form would have rewarded him if it had hit.
Oh, well, looks like St. Vicious taking a lot of damage from Deanna. She is going to land that double ult, plus the Ignite was ticking through him. V-Man picking up that kill on Mundo. And Fortnite doing a very, very good job this match of not letting Cursed spiral out of control, but a nice flash knockback onto V-Man by Salsa. Cursed and Nijaki comes in from the side and picks up the kill, and meanwhile Olaf picks up a dragon.
Yep, Fortnite picking up the dragon there, so...
Olaf trying to land an axe through. Livingston throws down the ultimate. They may go on to Nijaki. No, they prefer Chelsea. They land all the ultimates they need. JD Wu, very, very low, is basically dead if Curse can get him. Yes, Elements picks up the kill with his ultimate. And that is going to be a little bit of revenge, evening up the kills. But the gold's still in advantage of Fortnite.
Yes, Fortnite doing a really good job in lane, just not letting Curse get traction, as you said. But the problem is that Curse are such a highly rated team, such a good team, despite them not being able to win these engagements, get the ideal things they want for their lane, they're still rocking up at every objective and they're causing problems. And they're just staying in it at the moment by doing that. And while it is but just a little under 1k gold advantage at the moment, that's really pittance when you spread it out amongst an entire team. And we do see that Brutalizer being picked up on Jace now, so he's going for a very offensive build yet again. Rod of Ages being picked up on Cogmore so he can spam that all day. And it's going to be, for some reason they were pings. Oh, they saw the ward there at Dragon, so Never mind, I thought for some reason they were going to start another dragon fight, but they did not.
Yes, they're going to fight invisible dragons! Invisible dragons!
That's what we saw in our first match of the day, if you were watching then, so it does throw you just a little bit. But no, the dragon will not be back up till after 19 minutes, so good
Unless
4
he's
minutes
invisible.
of farming them.
Unless he's invisible!
Unless he's invisible. And they change his spawn timer on us. After all, there's already the tower attack speed bug in this patch, so you never know. There may be the invisible dragon timer bug.
Do you remember the Baron attack speed buff? That was crazy.
That was not a happy time in my life.
It's like, I'm gonna go fight Baron with 3 people, and Baron's like, no! It just kills 3 people. You know, 2 of them tanks. Just like, not a problem.
Yep, and farm universally, well, except for the junglers and support, of course, seems to be very, very close by the wire. Slight advantage overall going to 4 not there. But despite that, Mundo is 30 kills almost, creep kills almost higher than Olaf. And that's basically making up, and more so, for the difference in lane. So Curse very much staying in this as far as gold goes.
Oh,
there we go, the grab off elements onto Parole, but does not really get much out of it. He cops so much damage in return, and that's what you were saying. They need to grab Sona. He keeps grabbing the AD and basically pulling the focus into himself.
Yeah, if they took out, if they grabbed Sona, Sona would have died there. She had no way of getting out of that. They could have finished her off and then backed up. And then, you know, that'd be a kill on the carry. That'd be Ezreal on his own. They could have backed up, reset, and then pushed Ezreal back to tower and forced him out of lane. And they're just not doing that. They're trying to finish off the damage early.
You can understand the thinking behind that, but against someone like Ezreal, especially when you don't have a guaranteed way of not locking him down and you know his flash is still up, it's not the wisest move. That engage then just forced them to back and heal. So they gave up their own advantage in lane with that. It's just really not getting traction down bottom lane for Curse whatsoever at the moment.
Well, it looks like St. Vicious was chilling around bot lane, possibly looking for a gank. They haven't seen him, and he's doing this thing where he runs up to a spot and then runs back just to see if they disengage for the ward. And now I think Elements has finally realized what's going on, but he misses the hook. He knew what he needed to do there, but he missed the hook.
And that will probably be the one of like 3 hooks in the entire game he will ever miss. And it was probably the most critical one for their landing phase. And it looks like JD Wu coming in up top, going to try a gank, it looks like, onto Salsei. But Livingston just pushed the hell out of that lane.
Well, I mean, he kind of needed to. It wasn't pushing back anytime, so he'd force it up to the tower. Tower will finish it in maybe 30 more seconds, and then, you know, then they can try. Because Jace just cleared it. He's backing, but he cleared it.
Yes, but then JD Wu just backed it. See, as a jungler, you get there and you realize this lane's pushed up. I'm just going to waste time if I wait around for maybe a kill. So, made the decision there to go back and just buy. He'll try again another day.
You know what we haven't seen? Diana killing Kog'Maw ever. Like, we just haven't seen, you know, you pick Diana like you used to pick Akali. It was like, oh, that's an AP mid who's got nowhere to go. I'm Akali, I kill them. And Diana is the mana version of Akali. You know, it's just like,
Diana,
why hasn't she gone aggressive?
She does have a couple of kills, but she's really taken more of a farm perspective in this game, which you, like you said, you don't see too often on people like Akali or Dirty Diana, who is, well, Akali plus.
Yeah,
let's call her that.
Yeah, basically, she's version 2.0 of Akali, and I think they're once again trying to bait something here. They wanted to get Elements to hook Ezreal again and have him arcane shift away, have JD would come from behind, but Mundo was down there, and I think they knew it.
Yes, both teams really just playing it so cautiously and keeping it so static. They're waiting for a clear and total advantage, which unfortunately is just such a rare occurrence in games like this. The dragon is up and is not invisible. But will we see
invisible
something
twin brother.
soon?
Dragon's invisible twin brother. Well, it looks like Olive Curse is making their way here. They saw with that ward that JD Wu had snuck in there. And I think we're about to see our first, straight up team fight. Both teams going in. Actually, it looks like St. Vicious is going to get jumped on by V-Man. The Rumble ultimate comes out doing a lot of damage. Now V-Man taking a fair bit of harass back from Kog'Maw. And that, didn't burn that much, except the hook. The Elements lands the hook on the stone and runs away because the rest of his team wasn't there.
Elements will hook anytime, anywhere, but with St. Vicious forced to back, they don't have a smite. Curse have to basically give up this dragon, and that's exactly what happens.
And I think JD Wu wants to engage off this. He's popped out his ultimate. The Ezreal ultimate has gone through. They're trying to find anything, and they don't seem to be able to find it. The defensive ping's going out. Livingston getting pulled and flashes back over the wall, so they're content to take this dragon and leave.
Yep, so second dragon going to Fornot yet again, and that will respawn at 26 minutes, roughly.
26:15.
26:03.
26:03?
I think.
I don't have the chat up, so I can't look.
Yep. But yes, that was very good, very well played there by Fornot. They realized who they had to make sure was not there for the fight. They didn't worry about, hey, let's get rid of the carry so we can take dragon. They caught out St. Vicious and went, oh, jungler, no smite, and just went in on him. They didn't kill him, but they burnt some ultimates to make sure he had to base, so there was no risk of dragon being stolen, at least no traditional steal method.
Yeah, and if you look at the ultimates on Fortnite, a lot of those are pretty short cooldowns. Ezreal ult is a pretty short cooldown. Rumble ult is a pretty short cooldown. Diana ult, short, really short cooldown. really. But I think they're finally going to make the play they've been looking to make. He actually does get the hook, finally lands it with the knockup. Curse Nijaki coming in from the side, doesn't get hit by the Sona ultimate, and is now laying down some damage onto her. But they finally forced Ezreal to jump before they landed the hook.
Yep, they finally got Ezreal, and it only took 4 members of Curse.
It only took, what was it, 2 ultimates, well, two short cooldown ultimates and a teleport.
Yep. But they are going to get the first tower of the game here, down bottom. At least that is... Yeah, there's no way that's going to be saved. First tower of the game, and that puts them back almost equal in gold. First tower going to Curse, and that's going to give them a lot more lane control down bottom now, and especially that'll reflect in Baron, not Baron, Dragon when it comes up very soon.
Yeah, it also gives Blitzcrank, that ability to be the dirty hooker that Blitzcrank is, just hooking people out of nowhere.
I've never heard him be called that before.
It's true. But yeah, it lets Blitzcrank roam as much as he wants, and now they'll get that point where Blitzcrank or Curse or Nijaki and Livingston is almost dead.
Yeah,
Jason almost finished the job.
Like, that Ignite's gonna kill him.
But yeah, Nijaki and Elements can start roaming together and have that personal ward out of Nijaki and just the hooks out of Elements, and they can start finding things now that Elements isn't restricted to bot lane.
Yeah, and that's what Elements loves to do. He loves to roam and he loves to find those fancy hooks, and he just wasn't able to do it down bottom because they didn't really have that power in Corki. But now he's able to go
he's coming through. No wards, he is gonna miss.
You know better than that, Elements. You don't have 4 members of your team there.
You're not killing Ezreal without the whole team there.
And Nijaki on Cog gone back to pick up that Archangel stuff. So he has an Archangel's and a Rod of Ages and a Meki Pendant, which I'm assuming he'll probably turn into an Athene's at some point. He's going to just be the man-up master. There's no way Kog'Maw will not be able to cast spells now.
Yeah, no. Athenes? Or Morella's Evil... Yeah, Athenes. I was like, Morella's Evil Tome, maybe? No, definitely not.
I don't think I've seen anybody in the pro scene ever buy Morello's Evil Tome.
Yo, so good on Xerath. Don't even joke.
Who plays Xerath?
I play Xerath.
You're not a pro.
Shh, don't let the audience know that.
At least not yet.
No. But yeah, he'll probably build the Athenes, and that'll just be even more dangerous on Kog'Maw. So much more cooldown reduction. But I think we get about to see a 2v2.
Yeah, I was about to say that up top lane 2v2 was about to break out. But Solsay basically tipping his hand there, and JD Wu was now starting to fall behind in experience. He's just been kind of chasing people and not really catching them for quite some time. Meanwhile, Saint, oh, the hook down bottom catches out Sona, and they're going to take it out. Cop does finally kill Sona, but he takes a ton of damage from Ezreal. Ezreal flashes after him. He does go down. Element's gonna have to run here. He has no choice.
Oh, he's just gonna finish him under the tower, landing everything he can. No, he's not gonna do it, and out comes the Kog'Maw.
And that's exactly what you see. You saw that entire time, just every second R was up. Nia Jacky was just firing it out. It was just splash, 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 splash. Finally got Ezreal, so it was a 2-for-1 in the end, but it just goes to show that Cop and Elements still aren't strong enough to take on
What's the
Parole and
normal
Atomic Am.
cooldown on that ability?
On Living Artillery?
Yeah.
I think it might be 1 second.
So he's gonna have it down. If he builds an Athene's, what's he got for cooldown reduction? He's got 4% cooldown reduction. He just built a Chalice of Harmony. He's definitely building Athene's. How low
Well, if he can max out
that?
CDR, he will be at 0.6 seconds of a cooldown on that ability.
Oh my god. That's...
Keeping in mind that it does have a cascading mana cost.
But at that point,
up
he'll
to
have so
maximum.
much mana regen.
Exactly, he has a lot of mana regen. He has so much mana, period, because of Archangels and Rod of Ages. So, Nia Jacky's really just sitting pretty at the moment. The only possible criticism you could give his build is he doesn't have a Rabadon's. But when you have 271 AP, who needs Rabadon's at this point?
Look at that! That is just so ridiculous. I mean, he's literally... He is a howitzer on legs. He's a howitzer cannon on legs right now.
Oh, I love that, and it looks like Curse are going to push in this middle tower here. Really, there's not too much of... Oh, we see the flash ultimate, but Cop does get away with that Valkyrie. Very good try there by Sona, but unfortunately I don't think it's ready to fill up.
Look at that Kog'Maw damage! That's insane!
And Nia Jacky really... his finger must be getting sore from pressing R over and over and over and over and over again. Because he's just not stopping. And they push this tower right back in. They, like you said at the very start, they've got such strong disengage. As where Fortnite have to go in and stay in. And Cursor really just, they've hit their stride now that it's in the mid game, that they've left the laning phase.
Just Kog'Maw landing shot after shot after shot after shot after shot. Like, it's crazy how many he's landing. And Elements is just...
And
that was like 5 seconds of
ulting. You have to sit there
ulting.
and dodge the Kog'Maw shots constantly. And also, keep wary of Element's Fist. Dodge Jace's Q. Dodge Cleavers from Mundo. And dodge missiles from Corki. That is an entirely poke-oriented team. Pressing you up against the tower is what Curse wants to do at the moment.
But at the same time, their teamfight capability is still really strong.
Yes, it is, and they are going to get their first dragon of the game. Oh, JD Wu, I think you're going to be caught out, buddy. No, Curse... I'm not sure. Half of them chose to chase. The other half kind of thought, oh, we got dragon, let's run.
Well, now the teams have switched sides, defending in the enemy jungle, and Kog'Maw is firing out laser after laser. Why does he have a laser skin? Why aren't those laser beams?
Oh, that would be very scary.
Battlecast Kog'Maw. Do it. Do it, Riot. Give me lasers. It looks like JD was looking for his engagement. They are going to land some slows, but so much poke. The ultimate from Rumble going down onto Nia Jacky. They've turned on to Livingston, doing a bit of damage. Parole is in the back line, trying to help out Sona, who gets blown up by the Jace. Salsa now turning around and helping do more damage. And just Nia Jacky, he's just sitting back there, killing everything. And Diana is the only one left. She will need the play of the century to finish this.
And that's what I was saying at the start of this game about that frontline wall.
He's
that
thinking about it. He's thinking about it. What's he got? He is gonna miss the Q, and it's over.
Yes, it is the ace in favor of Curse. They are going to back up. I think they could have gotten that tower, but they are just going to back out. They're feeling quite comfortable.
Their wallets are heavy. Their wallets are heavy. They need to go light in those wallets.
Their wallets are heavy indeed. And there we go, the Athenes on Kog'Maw. I called it.
CDR. How much CDR? 34%, 40%. He just bought.
40%
He
with
just bought
blue.
a pot. No, he just bought.
And the blue.
He has blue and he
With
has an elixir.
There's no way he's not CDR maxed.
He is
But
40%
there you go,
right now.
Nijaki with his ultimate on a 0.6 second cooldown. So faster than you can basically say living artillery, living artillery, living artillery. He's firing that.
And has the mana to continuously spam that ability. What's it doing right now? It is doing 160 damage plus 200 magic damage. Oh my god. That's in a second 400 damage.
And Curse look like they're gearing up for Baron, and now, you know, they have the perfect team to do it too. They can poke with all of their
they're just gonna kill
overall.
Livingston, instantly diving on top of him, knocking him up, pulling him back. He is a dead man.
He is a very, very dead Yordle. And they've just got the perfect team, and we saw in that last team fight, that meat wall of disengage that I was talking about. They can stop almost anyone from reaching them. Even Olaf, who was the line runner, couldn't close.
Yeah, no, he had to walk through so much slow CC and damage, and you know, even with his ultimate, it was just whatever. But they go in for the steal. V-Man dies for his team's sins, and instantly Kog'Maw teleports bottom because there's a push from
Ezreal is
Parole,
being
and I
pushing.
think he's about to get caught. If Kog'Maw lands a single slow, Ezreal is caught. Oh, it begins. The howitzer begins. Oh, he stopped.
But that was a very good play there by Ezreal. He realised there was little chance they'd be able to stop or steal Baron, and pushed all the way up to the inhibitor. So they did get back a lot of map control there, but is it too little too late?
I don't know.
Problem
I would
is, though, is that he's now
I would
stuck
kind
down
of
there,
say so.
and look at where Curse are going. They're going for blue, and they'll probably sweep right down to Ezreal. Or not. They just proved me wrong, as they can go back to mid. Screw Ezreal, let's win this game, it seems.
Yeah, Ellens is looking for Hook, almost lands one onto Rumble as the rest of the team is slowly reaching them. I think Kog'Maw is going to go finish off a blue buff before he moves back into artillery down all of 4-0 on his own 5v1. And has he fully stacked that Archangels yet? Yes, his Archangels is now fully stacked.
Yes, that it stacks very, very fast when you do have a cooldown like that. It's a 3-second cooldown on Archangel stuff. He's casting spells almost twice as fast as the... Actually, I can't even calculate that. It's more than twice as fast. It is 1/6 of the time that the inherent cooldown on building mana on Archangels is. But that is just ridiculous, and Curse know that it's working. They've got the poke, they know they've got the meat wall, and they realise Nijaki's basically their key to winning this.
Yeah, he's not even going, you know, he's not going attack speed tread, Kog'Maw. He's going, I am literally the cannon of doom from the skies. I'm going to shoot you every 0.6 seconds, and you're going to do nothing about it because my entire team will tank if you try and come kill me.
Yep, and they're just going to take down the last of this turret. They realise there's no real danger. They're just getting everyone low. But in come JD Wu, Parole, and Atomic Anna and Livingston from behind. They are spotted though. Elements charging in. Is he going to get off the grab? Down goes the Equalizer, but Nijaki is just tearing everybody a new one. The exhaust is down onto Parole, and there's no chance he's going to deal damage. Cobb goes in and kills him. Meanwhile, Solsay is just, and Saint Vicious chase down JD Wu, and yeah, just Curse have this basically secured. It is their game to throw now. I don't think there's much that 4-0 can do because the poke from Curse is too strong and their front line is just too thick to get through.
Yeah, no, something to note, just how strong this Kog'Maw is. Ezreal's dying. Ezreal's about to die. And Nijaki threw an ult over the wall to where Ezreal could have jumped to, just in case he got away. Even if Ezreal had flash or arcane shifted through that wall, he would have instantly been hit by a Kog'Maw ultimate.
Yeah, and unfortunately there's just... Nijaki is basically able to place 2 ultimates down at once at the moment. You have to move double the range to not be hit by it. And his entire team, you saw that then, they basically formed this meat shield wall to keep people close, but at the same time just keep them far enough away from Nijaki. And even that equalizer didn't trouble them whatsoever.
Yeah, but apparently V-Man dueled down Jay. Salsy's dead. Counter push the back door.
He looks like he's going to do it, but I don't know what Cursor... There we go. Saint Vicious has backed for it. But it looks like Cursor going to continue pushing down bottom lane. Oh my god, just look at what one of those R's does to poor old Parole.
Oh my god, there's a second. Where's the third? Not even going to happen because they're going to walk right into Livingston, turning for him. Now trying to get on Nijaki. They did a very good job of slowly shutting him down. They're finally going to kill him. That is some serious shutdown gold, and he's going to get out of there. They do take down Diana afterwards, but Kog'Maw has died. The reign of terror is over for a mystical 50 seconds. What can they do in that time?
Exactly. Fallout have, they've taken a lot of ground back. They've made some plays. Their only weakness now is really that they don't have their inhibitor. But now's the time to do it. But I really did love how during that fight, Element saw that they were outnumbered. And he was gone. He hit Overdrive, he hit Shirelius, and he disappeared far off into the horizon before Kog'Maw even knew what was going on.
He's like, hey bro, peace. You should go.
And when you're as fast as Blitzcrank, realize that two of you can't live, so one of you might as well. And he just abandoned Nijaki to his fate. Yeah,
nah, Nijaki, he wasn't really going anywhere because they finally landed an equalizer on him, finally got off some phage procs, finally, got a slow off of one of those axes. If I say finally one more time after this, my point will have been driven home far too much.
Yes, they found him without his front line, and that's basically what it was. And he's now got that Zonya's Hourglass, so it's going to be even harder to take down Cog.
And the unkillable.
Just look at the amount of farm in this game. It is ridiculous.
Oh, looks like St. Vicious is going to find Atomic. He's going to land the cleaver. Instantly chases. The hook comes out. Even though the Sona ultimate came out, but she's going to get blown up by that power fist. Just uppercut. Livingston now falling. JD Wu trying to finish off St. Vicious, but Nijaki is now there, and Nijaki landing what he can. Meanwhile, on the other side, Parole chasing as far away as possible. Nijaki finally finishes the job. Diana coming in from the side. Can she do enough? No. Double kill, and no one from Curse falls. That is the ace, and definitely going to be GG for tonight.
Yes, it is. They do have the super minions too. There's nothing stopping them from taking these towers, but Elements thinks he can take it anyway, and pops his passive. There goes the surrender. GG, well played. Fornot put up a fantastic fight, but Curse just found their traction and drove it home. And even though, again, they will all be in the finals,